I want to start off by sharing something we're learning about how businesses learn and develop, okay? Which may be obvious to you guys, but for me it's like, wow, that's like a really interesting way we've discovered. So before we do that, let's do a little self-assessment. So if we were to rate your own business, how big or small it is, on a scale of 0 to 10, based on its effectiveness, okay? So by effectiveness, we mean the measurable or tangible parts. So that's the profitability and productivity, okay? We also mean the more intangible parts of that. Things like how we collaborate, how we communicate, how we strategize, how we resolve conflict, okay? So 10's the most effective business you can have, okay? 0's like basically at the back door, okay? So everybody put their hands up. So let's say the average is around, say, 6. Is that fair enough? Give or take?
Yeah.
What's that mean?
So there's a lot of room for development.
Room for improvement. Okay. So that's what's working well for you guys as a collective group. However, there's a bit of a gap here, right? So that's the performance gap. So what we've found, which isn't probably new to some of you all, is there's two kinds of gaps which create that big gap. One's a technical gap and one's a behavioural gap. And how we develop our businesses is imperative around being really clear around which gap we're trying to bridge. So what's a technical gap? Anyone know? Not quite.
Staff don't know how to write a work cover report.
Yeah, great. So it's technical skills and knowledge pertaining to that role. What's the behavioural gap? Attitude. What else?
Assumptions.
Assumptions. What else?
Ability to collaborate.
Collaborate. What else? How we communicate.
Initiate. Risk.
Great. How we lead. How we problem solve. How we trust. Build trust. So the old soft skills of business is the behavioural stuff. Now, back to the technical stuff. Is the technical stuff like transferable to different roles? So if you're a great engineer, can those skills you learn be transferred to a different role?
Not as easily as the other.
No. So if you're a doctor, you can't be a lawyer probably. Not a very good one anyway. If you're an engineer, you can't be a teacher. Because so technical skills are specific to your role. Okay. There are generic technical skills, which, as Alex says, we all need to some extent. And then there are specific technical skills, if it's a psychologist, or an IT guy, or an accountant, which pertain to your particular role.
Yeah.
Got
So
it?
the point is some of them are transferable.
Yes.
You can teach and transfer.
Correct. Okay. Great. What about behavioural skills? Are they transferable?
Yeah, generally, yes.
So if you're a great leader of an IT team, could you lead an engineering team in theory?
Yeah.
Yeah, totally. Here's the clincher. How, well, in my mind anyway, how do we develop our technical skills? Great. So what I would call traditional education. So we do a course, we go to university, we do a TAFE course, we read, we write, we do didactic kind of learning. What we do is technical stuff, that's not our thing. But around the behavioural change in organisations, my personal bias is experiential learning. And I think as leaders, the key question is the gap I'm trying to fill, now I'm being black and white here, but is it primarily a technical gap or is it a behavioural gap?